Welcome back to another episode of Late Entry, hosted as always by RBF Kyle
How we doing, everybody? Late entry family, let's go.
and your boy Double Dose. I'm in another location, as happens often with me. Shout out to my homegirl Jenny. Let me post up in her room for a little bit so I can record this. We are on a victorious episode of Late Entry today. Um, our
Yep.
villains are dead, or at least my villains are dead.
My
um,
demons are gone for sure.
they are. I told everybody coming into the weekend. I said, "Hey, look, trust me on one thing. I guess two things. I said the Niners are going to lose and the Bears are going to lose, and both of them are packing their bags right now, headed toward Cancun. Sensational feeling, dog. And I think I talked about this before last week. I had to watch the Packers game. I'm over here at my friend's house, like I said. Bunch of the homies watching the Bears game. I'm in Chicago, so they're all Bears fans. And I had to deal with all the gloating and the teasing and the trash talking after the Packers went out. I had to go and
Who's
get my
there?
big brother. Hey, look, I had to go get Big Bro. I had to go get the Rams, have them handle business, and they did. Dog broke all of Chicago's hearts, man. I got a homie in the next room right now playing Madden, replaying the game, trying to get a different
Oh no, he's
outcome.
gonna put him to rookie and go 127-0 just to make himself feel
Hey,
better.
hey, they are devastated, dog. Um, it's funny, man. All week leading up to this, and a lot of my homies here even talking about oh yeah, it's a LA team, it's a LA team. They don't know how to play in the cold. Chicago, and I will say it is freezing right now in Chicago. It is cold outside. It is snowing. It is windy. It's not fun. But they were talking about this. I saw a tweet. I forgot who posted it, but it said something about like people acting like the matchup this weekend is the Rams versus the National Weather Service. um,
For
but it's
real,
like,
like yeah, they act like those guys have never traveled.
well, the thing is too, your quarterback played years in Detroit. Your wide receiver too played years in Green Bay. They've played in some cold before.
Hmm.
But I mean the Bears, they came out and they were looking like a team that's used to playing in the cold. Their offense was good. They were throwing the ball. They had some drops. They definitely had some drops. Which is probably in big part due to the cold, but their offense looked like they knew how to play in the cold. The Rams, however, played like a team with some championship pedigree. They were like, look, this may not be our regular style, but look, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna run it. We're gonna run it and run it and run it. We're gonna play good defense. May not be a cold weather team, but we're a team that knows how to win in any conditions, and that's exactly how they played tonight. Matt Stafford did not throw a single touchdown, but the
I know,
running
I
game
saw that.
was, yep, the running game worked enough. I mean, I don't think that Puka or Devontae got 40 yards receiving. It was a bad
No,
betting game.
but that yeah, it was definitely a bad betting game. They made it look they did enough, right? They just kept the
Hmm.
possessions moving. They kept the ball in their hands. They kept it out of Caleb Williams' hands, who's a freaking playmaker. I'm
Oh
sorry to
yeah,
cut you off, but yeah,
no, you're
that
good.
was good game script.
And both defenses really showed up. They both wanted it. The Rams defense definitely obviously did enough to get the job done, including getting that pick at the end of the game. But the Bears defense was looking good too. They were hunting Matt Stafford at one point. Those blitzes, they were blitzing safeties. It was, yeah. Both
Oh
defenses really
yeah.
showed up. And the Rams,
Hmm.
they tried to, I don't know what Sean McVay was thinking, dog. Why would you run in your own end zone on 3rd and 10, knowing that you're about to give the ball back? And they punted that to the 50. You know what I mean? Which set up the
Hmm.
touchdown. It's like I don't understand why. What were you thinking? Why not take a shot? If you're gonna punt it anyways, why not just take a shot and see if you can get the first down? I hated that call.
Yeah.
Um, but Caleb Williams, I want to talk for a second about like the Bears. Honestly, for as much as I do the trash talking and stuff, the Bears have done so much to earn our respect this season. Ben Johnson, like I thought he would, went in there and definitely turned the culture around. Got with Caleb, got him playing like a freaking all-star. He makes just the most incredible plays, and once a game at least, he's making a play that's like, oh my gosh. Last week it was that fourth down throw to, I think it was Odunze, where he was rolling and through that. Tonight's was even crazier, dog. He was getting pushed all the way back, rolling damn near fading away with that throw to come out for the touchdown. It was insane. And
Dude
I thought that
threw
was
it
going to be
off the
the huh?
I was just saying, throwing it off the back foot from 40 yards.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, he deserves so much credit for what he looked like last year with Eberflus versus what he looks like this year with Ben Johnson. I mean, he's got and Ben coached him the right way, just kind of like slowly brought him along, and then as we got to the end of the season, started letting him turn up and he has been delivering. I know that the game pretty much ended on an interception from Caleb, but from what I'm seeing from that, and I think it was Chase Daniels was breaking this down on Twitter about how this was really DJ Moore's fault. DJ Moore stopped running the route, and he should have cut it more shallow because the defenders were there. So he really set Caleb up. It's a timing route, so Caleb's throwing it, expecting DJ to be there, and DJ is deeper and then stops running. So don't know if we can really blame Caleb for that. And he played a hell of a game, dog. He really did. He had an early interception that they were able to overcome. And they shout out to Ben Johnson, shout out to Caleb Williams, shout out to the rookies for playing hard and making a playoff stretch, like a playoff push in the rookie season. You had Monangai, you had Loveland. The defense played well. DJ Moore, with the exception of that play that we were just talking about, he had a very quiet regular season and caught a touchdown in each one of the playoff games. Like they really, really showed out. So shout out to them. But as I'm wearing the Lions sweatshirt today, so throwback of a few years ago, we got the Detroit Rams out here. Everybody pulling for them, and all my homies are like, you live in Chicago. What do you root for the Rams for?" I'm like, "Look, they have the old Lions quarterback. They've got a running back that's from U of M, and they've got
Hmm.
a receiver that's from Green Bay." I'm like, "That's my team. That's all of my. You know what I mean? Everyone that
Yeah,
I
that's
like from different
everything.
places all converged here. Yep.
And Puka Nakua is
So
not hard to root for either, on the football field.
no,
He's
no,
just electric. So
absolutely.
yeah, they're so fun.
And Sean McVay too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just to bring it back for a split second, the clip you sent in the group chat, of all your friends going crazy during that 4th down and 4 Caleb Williams play that we were just talking about. Dude, all of your friends were Ben Johnson like 18 times this year. No, 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 no. Yeah! Like that
Yeah.
was literally exactly what your room did. Like no, 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 no. It was so funny how like that's what he does,
Yeah.
man. He puts you in this position of like shit, 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 shit. Oh, we did it. We did. He is electric.
I,
I mean,
I
the what
was.
he did with his legs on that last drive, it was. I mean, uh, not to just repeat you, but like they coached him the right way to start 0-2 and turn this around the way they did. I just want to give a shout out not only to just Ben Johnson, not only to just Caleb Williams, but also to Ryan Poles. I was wrong about you, bro.
Mhm.
I really thought that they should have canned you when they canned Eberflus and just started completely anew, but they knew and they saw something in you and you delivered this year. Every pick in the draft, Monangai in the 7th round, like all the pickups for the O line, the 3 pickups on the O line.
That's huge.
The guy fucking cooked this year. I mean, so you can't be. I'm not a sore loser, right? I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Ryan
Hmm.
Poles, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. Hats off to all 3 of you. You guys had a hell of a season. I know you fell short tonight, but there was like a weird part of me that like on that touchdown drive, on that fourth down play, before it, I was thinking to myself like, man, with my co-host living in Chicago, how sick would it be if Chicago went all the way and we get to
Oh
just
yeah.
like he gets to be in the city and ride that. Like it really hit me in that, like I know you've said it, but like it
Hmm.
hit me in that way, like for content's sake, like I might have to put my own personal feelings about Ben Johnson aside and start rooting for him. But no, I mean, yeah, that
Oh
just a
yeah.
hell of a season. I'm pissed he went in the division, but I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the Bears to do what they did after abusing their fans for so long.
Oh
And
yeah. All of
don't move out of the state of Illinois, you dumbasses. That's
that'd
my
be so
only
stupid.
that's my only caveat to all of this is do not move now just because you got some fans and some money.
The all the Bears players, coaching staff, fans, everybody should pick their heads up. Should not have their heads down tonight. This was absolutely not a failure
Absolutely.
of a season. We talked about this before. They were ahead of schedule. and just making the playoffs we felt like was ahead of schedule. They won a playoff game and went toe to toe with a championship caliber team tonight and did not flinch. Um, and brought that to overtime. I think that they were definitely. I don't think that many people outside of Chicago thought that they were going to win. But I mean, some of the best stories, I would say the three best stories this season were the Patriots, from how bad they were last season to how good they were this season. The Bears basically on a Cinderella run as well. And then old man Matt Stafford having a career year,
Mm.
probably getting his first MVP, making a shot at a second Super Bowl. I would say those are
I
three of
put
the best
the
stories this season.
I put the Seahawks in there as like a maybe
Oh, I'm
contender.
sorry. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I am so sorry. I meant to say four because that's the other one. Sam Darnold
yeah.
killing his demons and getting out there and doing what he's done. Yes, that is
Mike
absolutely in
McDonald
there
with
as
that
well.
bounce back year. Yeah, that
Yes.
as a coach to start off like that, just
Mm-hmm.
completely refresh and reload on offense outside of JSN basically and some of the O line. I mean, yeah, just outstanding year for these. Well, he's not a first year head coaches, but some of these first year head coaches, even not as good of a story, but
Liam Cohen.
Liam Cohen,
Yeah.
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 What a season from him too. These first year coaches, man, they showed out a lot of them.
Absolutely. That video you're talking about, yeah, I was because they got me at the end of the Packers game, looking all depressed and sad and stuff, and everyone celebrating around me. I was trying to get him back, so I had that on that fourth down, and I recorded it, and I turn, and they're just all celebrating. I'm like, they got me. That was probably
Got you again.
from the celebration that they had after that touchdown was thrown, to then the quick turnaround of depression after the game ended on that pick and then the field goal. I haven't seen anybody go from a high to a low that fast outside of Broncos fans this weekend.
Dude, you should have recorded the kick too. Did you record the kick?
I did. I did. They all
Oh
knew it was
man,
coming
that's
though.
so funny. That's so
Yeah.
funny. Right, they're all just kind of at
Um,
that point before the balls even snap. They're like putting their heads down.
yeah. But yeah, so now it's I mean, like look, I've been saying this, I believe, since the trade deadline, if not before that. I've been saying that the NFC championship was going to be the Rams versus the Seahawks. And here we go. We got it. We got it. And honestly, especially with the injury um, to Bo Nix, the NFC Championship is going to be amazing. The AFC Championship is probably going to be horrific. And we'll talk about this later too, as it pertains to the Patriots. But I think that the whichever team comes out of the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl, which I think I've also been saying for months. Um, that being said, I think the NFC Championship game may wind up being better than the Super Bowl itself.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you say the NFC Championship,
Yeah, the NFC
not the
Championship
yeah,
might be better than the Super Bowl.
yeah,
The AFC
I
Championship is going to be a dud.
yeah, probably. Um, yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I think that might be it. Might be the game to watch. Obviously, it will get less eyes, but
Hmm.
it very sneaky might be the game of the year. Um,
Hmm. I mean, that was the game of
the
the regular season, I would say.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
last time
I
that they
think
met up.
both of their matchups were insane. I mean, it
Hmm.
was the Seahawks. I think started. I can't remember how that first one went, but yeah, they literally. I think it was like a 2 point conversion away on that first one, or and then like a field goal. Like it was just it's neck and neck every time they face each other. And honestly, the Rams just do that with the best teams of the best all the time,
Hmm.
year after year. Like for this generation over the last 10 years, they're probably the best franchise right now. Like, as far as being able to bounce back, having no reason to be in the playoffs. And then, like, the
Or the
only year they
Niners.
haven't made it, Niners, yep, they're up there. Um, I mean, Patriots obviously are making a new case for themselves again to just like the lifetime award, basically, of how
Hmm.
to run a franchise. Um, yeah, Packers are obviously up there, but they haven't had enough Super Bowls really for you to. But at the same time, I mean,
Recently.
Rams
Recently.
recently. If we're talking 10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, that game is going to be one of the most electric games that has ever been played. Honestly, I think like these two defenses are playing so hard. Matthew wants to get another one. Um, Sam
But I
Darnold is
mean,
playing with that ultimate chip on his shoulder. Like every team in the NFL passed on him essentially, and now he's literally on top of the mountain. To me,
But I
yeah,
mean,
it's
to your point that you were just making though too, I cannot think for the Les Snead. If we're talking about Ryan Poles
oh
and Ben
yeah,
Johnson, we definitely got to shout out Les Snead and Sean McVay
Sean
to
McVay.
basically go all in, put everything in the picks, the cap space, everything on that run that they made a few years ago and got one. And then several years later, you lose Aaron Donald, you lose Cooper Cup. Granted, you got a Puka now, but to go through everything that they went through and then completely rebuild, retool, reload around Stafford still, and then make another run for a Super Bowl, that is insane to do in just a few year turnaround. And so the GM for that to get those picks, to get the right players in there, and then the coaching of McVay and the play of Stafford, it's incredible.
Absolutely. No, they found the winning formula and they're doing it. I mean, they were a touchdown away from probably being the Super Bowl favorite last year. It's just they
Mm-hmm.
they really they really just stay competitive year after year, and it I think I mean I don't know who you credit most in this. Obviously, I'm biased when I will say this, but Matthew Stafford was the key change in all of this. Like Les Snead and McVay were there, and yes, they can keep cooking and they can keep delivering, but for him to keep working with like that year that they lost to us in the wild card round, like uh he had nobody on his O line, dude. He had to release the ball within a second on every snap, and that went to one. That was like a 1 or 2 point game, whatever it was. Like he just competes. He is so
Mm-hmm.
freaking good. Um, yeah, and my MVP for the regular season, no doubt. And if he gets
Oh, yeah,
past the
absolutely.
Seahawks, he'll probably be the Super Bowl MVP as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think whichever team comes out of the NFC is getting it
They're
done.
gonna take it. I do too. I completely agree.
But let's keep it pushing over from Bears and Rams. Get into
Yep.
the worst game out of the well. I think it's the worst game only because I enjoyed the Niners getting destroyed. But Texans versus Patriots, a game that betting the under paid off. um,
I enjoyed the shit out of this because I don't have to pay you anything.
yes, we did split on our bet. We had 20 on Texans versus Patriots and 20 on Seahawks versus Niners. So yeah, we pushed. So congratulations to you for getting out of that.
Yeah,
Even
thank you
though
very
I'm
much.
not I'm not going to be a sore loser about the fact that they didn't have Nico Collins, which I didn't know when we made the bet. They didn't have offensive lineman, didn't have Dalton Schultz. But look, hey,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't say
didn't know
anything
any of
about
that
that.
either. Yeah,
Nope, nope, it's all good. Uh, what did you think about the game though?
yeah. All in all, I really thought that the Texans defense was playing to win them that game. Um, obviously, they got the touchdown late to make it 28-16. The booty touchdown, that was electric. What a
It
catch!
was
But
insane. That one
I
hander.
mean, yeah, I mean he was locked. You could see it in the corner when he saw that, like he saw the dive and then he saw the ball appear in his hand. And he was like he went wide eyed, like what? Like how did that just happen? Because I mean, he had him locked, and then he just took that one little dive and got just that couple feet of separation that he needed, made the catch. So I mean, but up until that point, to me, like the the defense only gave up 14 points. Like they were playing to win that game. If it weren't for a pick six, like they have the lead going into that moment, like so this is totally a fumble on the offense. I mean, like you said, no, well, missing an offensive lineman, missing his two favorite targets of the season. That's never easy. That being said, like he's had some games where he's missing those guys, and I mean, Patriots defense played lights out. Not just crediting that, but like he's had some games, CJ Stroud, where he was missing some guys and he was hitting guys like Jaden Higgins or Jalen Higgins, whatever his first name is.
James.
Um, and he was putting up like numbers of like 9 targets, 8 catches, like so there's an ability for him to like find a wide receiver one and somebody that's not Nico Collins or that's not Dalton Schultz. He was just scrambling for his life the whole first half. Second half, it felt like the confidence started coming around, but they couldn't complete drives, and the weather was getting to them. And They got it a little close, and then that booty catch just like really, you could just see it in the Texans offense. Like they were done as soon as that
Yeah.
happened. The game was over.
Because the
So
Texans got it back to, I think, a one-score game. And then,
yeah,
yep,
it
there was
was
that touchdown that blew it open.
21-16. Yep. Yep. It was, and like I said, if they didn't get that pick six up, then it's, you're up by two with that field goal. So it's a completely different game, a completely different mindset coming into the second half, even if you've had these turnovers. Um, but yeah, I mean, he just failed on a mental side, I think, as far as like trying to be a takeover quarterback that he claims to be able to be. He just did not execute tonight, and that's okay. They'll reload. They got a really good coaching staff, really good head coach. So the Texans aren't going anywhere out of contention, but it just wasn't their year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have like a ton of thoughts on this game. It was not, I didn't think it was overly exciting. It was a battle of two good defenses. It's funny. The Texans lost basically the same way that they beat the Steelers the previous week. It's a situation where you have a really good defense and then a subpar offense, and the less that the offense is doing, the more tired the defense is doing or is getting. And
You're right.
so the more points that the one team can put up, then it's like it just starts slowly breaking you, and then you could feel basically a moment where the Texans defense broke, and then it was game over. Because CJ Stroud, he has not played well in 2 weeks. And it's like it's a mixture, I think, of two things. I think that their offensive line is terrible. CJ Stroud is getting pressured consistently, but he's also not taking care of the ball. He's fumbling repeatedly. He's throwing picks. I think he had 3 or 4 turnovers today. Don't have that number in front of me right now, but yeah, I mean, he
He's
just has
had
not played
he
well.
he had his 13th and 14th on this season today, which for a
Yeah,
quarterback, like that's not good. I mean, that, for any player, that's not good
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Just bad. It was so bad that at halftime, in what was it, Marcus Spears and Ryan Clark, we're talking about like, do you bench him and go to Davis Mills for the second half? Which is crazy to hear about, like your franchise quarterback. But I mean, it just was not working, and yeah, it
10 for
was
24 in the first half. That's bad.
yeah,
At
yeah,
the same time, the second you do that, I mean, I don't know. It's one of two things. The second you do that, you either light a new fire under your guys or everything is lost. Like you've just completely thrown it out the window going into the
and not
second half.
and not just lost for the end of the game, lost for next season. You're the franchise
True.
quarterback, and they bench you in a playoff game. Like
Hmm.
that might not be worth it. But I mean, it's he was in a tough situation. He was similar to like not to the same level, but similar to like a Justin Herbert situation where it's like, it's hard for most quarterbacks to come into that situation and try to win. You have no time in the pocket. It's consistently being collapsed. You're playing against a good defense. You don't have your wide receiver one. You're missing the offensive lineman, and you're missing your tight end. That's an uphill task, and they couldn't run the ball. I think that when I had at one point, I forgot how early it was in the game, they had 10 rushes for 11 yards. That's horrific. That's absolutely
Yep.
horrific. You're not winning many games like that. And so you're putting it all on CJ Stroud, who, I mean, you've got to be one of those like top 3, 4 quarterbacks to really go into a situation like that and win. You know what I mean? That's like Patrick Mahomes level. That's like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Maybe they can get that done. But there's not too many quarterbacks outside of that can do that, especially with him not really being a rushing quarterback either. Like he's not going to break
Right.
out and run for 10, 15 yards. He's just going to stand in the pocket and get strip sacked from behind. So,
Yeah.
yeah, not good. Um,
Absolutely.
I
Where
want
are
to
you at?
say,
Where are you at with your? I was just gonna ask probably what you're about to say. Where
yeah,
are you at with your standing on the fraudulence of
yes,
the
that's
New England
exactly what I was about to get
Patriots?
into. Yes,
Yeah.
so I want to say two things, and they're not conflicting. They do go to like they can both exist. Props to Drake May and Bo Nix, both of them. I had been talking for a long time about the fact that I didn't know if they were ready for the playoff lights. I did not know that they were. I didn't know if Bo Nix was going to throw that crazy fourth quarter interception, costing the game. They both showed up
Uh,
in both games. I said I didn't know if he was going to, and he didn't.
oh, okay. I was like,
He
wait,
did.
what? Okay.
He did throw a late pick, but they were able to recover from it. It didn't cost them the game. Bo
Hmm.
Nix did. Um,
Right.
but yeah, they both quarterbacks showed up and delivered in these playoff games. Proud of them for that. The Patriots still haven't played anybody. They still have not played anybody. They had the easiest strength of schedule in the regular season. They played a Justin Herbert with a beat up offensive line and receivers that couldn't get separation. Then they played the Texans, who have nothing. Like I said, I just talked about the injuries that they had. And CJ Stroud played like trash. It's a solid defense, but the offense was horrific. And then they're going to get to play the Broncos in the AFC Championship, who don't have a quarterback. They're going to go to a Super Bowl having played nobody the entire season.
Yeah, I hear you. And I can't argue their strength of schedule. Obviously, you take the team that's in front of you, all that. Um, they've played some really good. I'm not going to say anything about the offenses that the defenses have had to play yet. They've played some really good defenses these last few weeks and have patched it together, which, like, mentally, like, that is the exact type of run you need for a defense that maybe hasn't quite been tested yet. You need an offense feeling still confident about themselves going into, like, probably what's going to be their biggest test of the season in the Super Bowl if they get there, which they probably will.
Mm-hmm.
In the Seahawks or even the Rams, that's probably going to be their best test on defense. Maybe Texas is the close second, but like you're saying, you're probably not going to get that same help that you got tonight out of the defense that you're getting, like that you would get out of the Rams or the Seahawks. Maybe the Seahawks, their defense might match up better against the Seahawks, I think, than the Rams. But so, like, I don't know. I think it'll be a competitive game if that's the scenario. But to me, yeah, I think that their defense has built enough mental confidence to be ready to when the bright lights are on. I hate to do it twice in a week, but anything can happen and anything goes. And especially when you get to that level and you get to that game, I think that defense is gonna give Sam Darnold or Matthew Stafford a little bit more trouble than you're thinking, because they're not amazing, but they bend and they don't break.
Bro, the Seahawks just beat the hell out of the Niners, barely using Sam Darnold. I think
I
that honestly, the more that, and this may be recency bias, and I'm still rooting for the Rams. I think the Seahawks are winning the
We're
Super Bowl.
talking injuries, bro. Talk about all the Niners defensive injuries. And I know they
I
made it work up to that point, but like that's not a
I'm
test either then at that point. Like going
I'm
41
just
points again,
I'm just
like
saying that I think that the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna argue you there. And
Gun to my
that
head, you
be
make me pick
like
a team.
that's exactly where I'm at. So the the Patriots team is on a mission like the Ravens team was in 2001, but the Seahawks have the history of the Legion of Boom, and these
Mhm.
guys are going to make sure that they hold up that standard of defensive prowess that the Seahawks have always had. And regardless, I think the Seahawks are going to win against the Rams, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. But
There
I
was a
I I don't think that a team in an AFC championship is fraudulent. So I understand they have had somewhat of a soft
oh,
schedule, but I just can't. A team with 16 wins after having 4 last year, and
okay.
yeah, they spent a lot of money, but they also have a lot of the same pieces, and they have completely turned it around with a lot of that same personnel that they had last year, and
Let me
not
say
much of a
something real
better wide
quick.
receiver room. Go ahead.
You know how people always talk, and I'm not a fan of this at all, but you know how people always talk about how the Lakers 2020 championship, the bubble ring, was like an asterisk next to it.
Yeah, I disagree with that
How do
too.
you how do you not put an asterisk next to a Super Bowl where you've just walked through nothing but bad and injured teams to a Super Bowl? Unless
It,
they win
it's
it.
been it's that's not you are completely generalizing that. That is, if you go back and look at every single game, you would not say that.
I broke down their 10-win streak a few weeks ago. It was all horrible teams. I think there was
Uh,
one good team in that
they beat the Bills. That's a good team.
once.
They
And then the
beat.
Bills beat them later in the season.
hmm Dude, I understand. I still I don't think that a team getting to this point of the season is fraudulent. There are so
Okay,
many things that they could have also done wrong, and injuries that they've had that you're not mentioning that I don't even know about, but I know that they've taken place because that's what happens in the NFL. So you're not going to apologize for a win. You're not going to apologize for getting this far. And there's no way that anybody can tell you that you didn't earn it, because you quite literally did. You won enough games to get the seed you got, and you won enough games to get to this position. Like, you can, I mean, yeah, you can say what you want, but you are dead wrong. Like, any team that gets there got there for a reason, because they earned it. Like, there's no other way around it.
two things. First of all, that's absolutely a lie. There's teams all the time that get lucky breaks and wind up having these runs where you know that one of these teams is not like the other. Like that happens in all sports all the time, where the injuries just happen to go a certain way, and you've got your final four, and one of them is like, "Hey, who is this guy?" That happens all the time.
Yeah,
But let me say this:
injuries always
there,
happen in the NFL. Plenty
there,
of people also step up and as depth pieces and make an impact to a Super Bowl run. That happens all the time too. It can go both
there,
ways. Like, you're
their season is basically the whole situation of like being a game manager. They've been a season manager. Don't lose any games we're not supposed to lose. That's it.
and then win every playoff game, and that's what they're doing. Like,
Okay, so
I
so
don't
we'll
understand.
let's say this then, because it's almost guaranteed that they're going to make it to the Super Bowl.
All right,
If they
you
play
can
a
keep trying to
competitive,
convince me.
if they
It's not going to work.
if they
Go ahead.
no, I'm just asking. We're both going to be in a situation to have to potentially make a concession. If they go to the Super Bowl and they play a competitive game, even if they don't win, if they're competitive, they play like the Bears played tonight. I will come out here after the Super Bowl. I will say I was wrong. They were not frauds. But if they get exposed like the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl last season against the Eagles, you got to come out here and apologize.
I mean, you've never made an apology to me to any wrong takes you've ever made, so I ain't going to apologize to
I
you.
don't
I'll
think that's
apologize to
true.
our fans for being wrong.
I've made
But I
apologies
ain't
before.
apologizing to you. Bro, you literally called out all the people that you should have apologized to about this weekend, except for me, in a group text today. And I felt I'm literally your co-host, and you're like, also Kyle, we pushed the bet. No, bitch, the Patriots put belt to ass, and you should fucking apologize to me for them doing that against a defense that you didn't think they were going to get any points on. That's what I'm
Kyle,
looking for here. I want my
Kyle,
moment. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Kyle, two pieces. I did not know when we made this bet about the injuries that they were going to have. Nico Collins got ruled out the
Oh
day
my
after we did our
god.
podcast.
Oh my
Let me,
god.
can I,
I've heard
let me,
this. You've already
hold
said
on.
it. Let's move on. I'm
Let,
not even gonna hear this,
wait,
bro. This is
wait,
bullshit.
wait, wait.
We're on to
Relax,
this. All right.
relax. That being
I'm
said, that being said, you definitely predicted how the game was going to be. I was confident enough in it to put $20 on it, and I was wrong. So you were right. I'm sorry. You got me.
next time, don't make me have to pry.
Hey, I mean, it's not like we didn't push though. We were both confident about
No, we
the
did.
games
We
and
were, we were
right.
both wrong about different games. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't
I
make you
mean,
make an apology to me about the Niners and the Seahawks because that was the biggest
mhm.
belt to ass.
That was a
That
big
was
belt
the
to
big. Oh, Kyle Shanahan. You know how many times he's lost to a team in the playoffs? You know what he's capable of. Don't forget about Christian McCaffrey. Psh, 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 psh,
Yeah,
psh.
that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Uh, Brock Brock Purdy has failed me. He's failed. He's destroyed my little credibility that I had left on this podcast, um, and he is still a top 10 quarterback in my eyes. So, call me delusional, call me crazy. I think it was just a bad game, but I still think the Niners, same as the Texans, y'all as contenders, you're not going anywhere. Very clearly.
I
I,
think that
I definitely was trying to add just a little context. We're trying to run a show here. I was trying to go for my little Cinderella story there with the Niners, thinking we could do it, but no, yeah, you got me on that. So I apologize for being wrong.
uh look, Brock Purdy, if I have to sit down and think about it and make a list, he may make the top 10, maybe. I still think that you saw Mac Jones get used by Kyle Shanahan and still win games. and that gives me cause for pause. But CJ Stroud is definitely coming out of my top 10. Someone's got to
Yeah.
go in, and I don't think that Jared Goff earned it. So it may be Purdy. It might
Yeah.
be Trevor Lawrence.
Jared Goff was in mine last year, and I mean, we'll see what happens by this summer where my head's at, but I don't know if he's quite in there right now for
Yeah,
me. So,
it
um,
might be. It might be Trevor Lawrence.
yeah, yeah.
It might be Sam Darnold. Like, you know what I mean?
The crazy part is, I think all four of them are so similar. It just like it comes down to the right pieces and the right coaches, and like like that's just what it's always that. But like there are players like Lamar, where it's like it doesn't matter who his quarterback coach is, like he's going to make plays. Patrick Mahomes, he's had multiple different quarterback coaches, he's going to make plays. Like just there's guys where it and Patrick Mahomes this year, once again another guy you might want to kick out of your top 10 depending who you are. Um,
Absolutely not.
depending who
Can't
you
kick out
are.
Mahomes.
Um, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just saying that there are definitely people out there that will, because of the season he had. But that's just it. Is like we are going season by season basis here. We're trying to run a show. We're going off of what have you done for me lately, and that's really how you have to base things in the NFL because it's moving so fast. And the second you start falling behind is the second your career starts to end. Like that's just flat
Yeah.
out.
I mean, I don't think that he's out of the top 10 by any means, but I think he'll have a
I
bounce
don't
back
either.
next season. Yeah.
I don't either. I think that a
Um,
lot of these guys that we're going to put out of our top 10 might have like not a lot, but a couple of these guys that we're talking about, I'm not even necessarily just saying Jared. I think he'll have a better year next year than this year. But um, I think that there's a lot of guys that it's just it's always fluctuating because
you
everybody's so
know,
good.
you know who else though too is, and I know that I'm kind of on a huge swing here, but um, I've been Sean Payton has kept Bo Nix on a leash so much this entire season. Whereas I was so high on him at the end of last season, and then this season their offense has just been so boring because of the way that Sean's been playing it, which has made sense for his development. But watching them against the Bills, it reminded me that I had previously thought that Bo Nix reminds me of baby Josh Allen when he
Mm,
finally gets off the leash and gets to actually go out and ball.
hmm
So
Yeah,
he
you've
might
actually
be in
said that
there.
on this podcast before. Yeah.
Yes, yep. And I got to remember it watching that game of like, oh yeah, this man can kind of play when he gets actually a chance to. But you know who, honestly, we're completely forgetting about? You know who probably has the best case to get into the top 10?
Who's
It's
that?
Caleb Williams.
Oh, yeah, you're totally right. Yes.
It's Caleb Williams. We were forgetting a big one. Caleb
Ultimate
Williams.
ultimate sophomore season. Yes.
Great. Yes, dog. Usually you get a sophomore slump. That man had a sophomore superstar. He looks like a mixture of Aaron Rodgers and Caleb and Pat Mahomes. He's not as good
Yes,
as either one of them yet, but he is on an ascension. If you extrapolate like this man is going straight to the top, straight to the top. Under Ben Johnson, yes,
I agree. Sky is the mother freaking limit right now.
yes, yes. That
And
is the
he is,
person that is most deserving of his top 10 spot right now.
bro, back foot 40-yard line. Are you kidding me? Like,
The
oh,
touch,
that play
the
was
t-
insane.
in the last few weeks. Us taking out the okay. If we go back, what I think the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, um, the touchdown throw in overtime against the Packers, going toe to toe with the Niners, 40 points, comes down to one play at the end. Ugly loss to the Lions, knock the Packers out of the super or out of the playoffs. Go toe to toe with potentially the NFL champs this season. That is an insane last 5 weeks.
Yeah,
That's the guy that's the
they,
top 10.
yeah, they earned it. I mean, and he showed it on the mental side too. Just like the game was tough. They were down by 7 in the moment that he needed to step up, like he'd been doing all year. And I mean, shit, he's also looking like a little mini Matthew Stafford with his clutchness, dude. Like
I was
he's
gonna
kind
say
of
that
got that trifecta thing going on too. Like
that's
because
what I was.
he's got the slinging ability and like the fearlessness of Aaron. He's got the mobility and like the vision outside of the pocket that Mahomes had early on, and he's got the clutch gene that Stafford. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to win as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady or anything like that, but that is a recipe for a guy that wants to be the face of the league, wants to be the next GOAT. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, he's got
Absolutely.
all the intangibles for sure.
And the clutch gene, I think, is the most important part about that. He
Yes,
might not always get it done, but
and
he
a great
never
coach.
folds. But he never
Never,
folds.
never. He will always trust in himself to make that throw last second, run it for the first down. Like, and that's just it. He can do like he can trust in his throwing arm. He can trust in his legs. Like with a good coach in Ben and a good O line, he can trust in his running back. Like as long as this shit holds up, the Bears are going to be something
Problems.
to worry about for a long time. Yeah,
Oh yeah, we've got all sorts of problems in the NFC North. The
yeah,
Vikings are still a quarterback away from being back. They're the only difference between 15-1 and last season was your quarterback. The Lions have some things to figure out, but have a loaded roster. The Packers, I mean, they've been cooking. They're still going to keep cooking. And then the Bears, straight up. So
hmm
there's going to be some problems. Going back to Seahawks Niners, I don't have a ton to say about that. I mean, I was hype as hell. I told you guys at the trade deadline, Shaheed to the Seahawks was going to make a humongous difference. You start the game off by running a kickback. I mean, you've got momentum, you've got all the hype, the exhilaration, and you got 7 points. And we haven't even snapped the ball yet. Let's get after
yeah,
it. That's going to be
yeah,
a hard out. That's going to be a hard out. I don't know who can take them out, but they've. It, if the Rams do it, I can see that happening. Otherwise, they're taking the Super Bowl.
yeah. They are the best all around team. They should go and win it all. Obviously, like you said, anything, like anything goes. Or yeah, the Rams are the kind of roadblock. If they get through that game, I don't see them losing this shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
offense, defense, like
They're the most
they
complete team they have been.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, the on like we've been saying, the if the Rams offense, like it's all about these wide receivers in Stafford. Their run game's going to get working, and I think we're going to weirdly see a higher scoring game than we've seen from the Seahawks defense lately. Obviously, like I think this is their best offense they've faced this postseason. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've only had one game, obviously, but um, I mean, they have to go and reload after just facing them in two close games. It's going to be really hard to go and get that win against them. But yeah, I mean, just like my horrible predictions that I've been on, I'm just going to predict this shit around like 27-24 Seahawks. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a little higher scoring than the Seahawks are comfortable with, but I think they're going to squeak it out.
Hey, look, all I want to say is yesterday was one of the best days I've had since we started this podcast. As everyone knows, I hate, hate the Niners, and I love being right. So me getting to bury the Niners and dance on their grave yesterday made me so happy. It made up for the Packers loss. It made up for the Josh Allen going out. But yeah,
Yeah.
anything else on that game, or you want to kick it into the last one?
No, yeah, we'll head on to Bills versus Broncos here. Yeah,
Yep.
the ultimate heartbreak of the weekend. Um,
Mm.
Initial thoughts of this: I'm sad for Josh. I'm sad for Buffalo. Um, the city needs a win about as bad as we do. Um, been to four Super Bowls, never won one. That's heartbreak. And then you get the like most eligible bachelor in the country as your quarterback, who's now no longer the most eligible bachelor, but who was the most eligible bachelor in the country as your quarterback, and he runs the table with like everybody and just electrifies the city. And just year after year, you just get so close and you can't get it done, man. It's just so heartbreaking. I feel for Buffalo because I mean I can relate to the heartbreak. Obviously, um, I'm fucking depressed all the time because my team sucks. Um, so it the big thing for me, like I don't know. Some old heads online have been calling Josh Allen the next Phillip Rivers, or
Mm.
the Phillip Rivers of our generation, right?
I've been seeing people call him James Harden.
Damn, I don't want to go there. Well, does James Harden have how many rings? Does James Harden have 2?
0.
Oh, he has 0. Okay,
Regular
that's right.
season
That's
and
right.
regular
Oh
season
yeah,
goat,
regular
playoff
season goat never
disappointment.
gets it done in the playoffs. Yes, yes, yes. Um, no, okay. So, but to me, I think he's going to be more like a Matthew Stafford. I think whether it be with Buffalo or whether he ends up having to get dealt at the age of like 32 somewhere, I think he's going to find a way to get a Lombardi in his hands one way or another. Like his career won't end without him getting one. I ain't putting any money on it. I ain't doing anything like that. But I really believe in Josh Allen. I believe in his ability to get it done. I really think he's being mistreated. The Bills have not put a team around him in 2 years. Literally, their last big splash they did was like getting Stephon Diggs, and then they've made his O line a little better. But like, give this guy one receiving weapon. Like, Kincaid is
Well,
good.
the whole thing with
Coleman's
that though is
fine.
like you're seeing the differences of two different approaches, and they're both having the same ending. Um, you
Mm,
had
yeah,
Diggs,
Diggs
and
isn't.
you had
Diggs
Diggs, you
isn't.
had Diggs, but look, you had Diggs as a wide
Diggs
receiver
isn't
one,
the
right?
answer.
But listen, you had Diggs as a wide
Yeah,
receiver one, and it worked really well. But it became too much of a diva situation. Diggs demanded the ball so much it was messing the locker room up, and it was messing up Josh's. He felt like he had to force the ball to him. So we said, okay, let's get the diva out and just spread the ball around. But then also, you don't have that go-to guy. It's the same reason that I feel like the best place for AJ Brown is the Bills, but also does it wind up being Stephon Diggs part two?
the same thing. Right.
It's like you need a wide receiver one, but that diva situation is not meshing well with Josh after so long.
You
Honestly,
need a
to your
guy
point,
like that. That's not going to have that ego. Like I mean,
there's not
St.
many.
Brown had a couple of games where he's getting 4 catches, 3 catches, and like you might see him getting a little frustrated, but you've never seen it get to any point close to the Stephon Diggs situation. Like there are guys out there that can prevent it. I really like Justin Jefferson this year. He could have totally been a diva, but he hasn't been a diva at all. He's been totally like
Mhm.
all class, has taken it on the chin, and he's
But that's not
like
because they're not
borderline best
throwing
in the
to
league.
him. But that's not because they're not throwing to him. That's because his quarterback sucks.
You don't
There's
think
a
Josh
difference.
Allen's gonna throw it to AJ Brown a lot?
I mean, there was issues with Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Stephon was asking for like he's asking to be wide receiver 1 every year. Like he was putting up, he was on my team and he was like wide receiver 7, and I'm seeing him being like, I'm not getting enough targets. I'm like, brother, like you are fine. You are
Hmm.
doing, you are in the perfect spot. He that was on Stephon, man. And
What?
I think the AJ Brown frustrations are real. He's getting 3 targets in 4 games. Like that's
Right.
insane. Like that never happened to Diggs. Like AJ
I
Brown
agree.
ain't gonna bitch about getting 4 targets. He's gonna
And
bitch when
AJ
he's not targeted.
and AJ could have, I think, diva'd more than he did. I think that he
I
had very
agree.
reasonable upsetnesses.
I agree. So I
To
don't
your
think that's
Philip,
I don't think that's gonna happen if that
to your
happens.
Philip,
If they
to your
pick him up.
to your Philip Rivers point, I think that one of two things is going to happen with Josh, which is crazy because of how talented he is. Either one, I'm looking at this as like Dan Campbell after the NFC Championship. Fellas, this might have been our best shot. You had no Joe Burrow, you had no Mahomes, you had no Lamar, and you couldn't get it done. On the other hand, it may be
Yeah,
more like an Aaron Rodgers situation with as much talent as you are as one of the best. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks to have ever played football ever. But he walked away with one ring. It was always an issue with Rodgers, the organization, or just bad luck. Any one of those three. That might be Josh. You break through eventually, you get your one, but hey, NFL isn't always happy for every year. You know what I mean? He might be
yeah,
more like a Rodgers.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, he might get his one shot, and that might be it. I
Um,
mean, he's had his shots. I shouldn't say that. He might get that one game where he gets it done, and that might be it.
I also feel bad for Josh as it pertains to this game too. And I said going into this too that this was Josh's best shot, but it was his worst team that he's had in a few years. Um,
Yeah,
but they, uh, it was a lot of factors that went into it. They wouldn't have been in the situation they were in had Josh played better. For about 3 quarters worth of football, he played like Josh Allen. For about a quarter's worth of football total, he played like CJ Stroud. And that's what part of the reason that they lost. I mean,
yeah,
you get the ball back before halftime and you have a chance to maybe put 3 on the board. And you wind
yeah.
up,
That was
best case scenario, you put up 3. Worst case scenario, you're supposed to get no points. Instead, what happens is you fumble the ball and give the other team 3 points before half. That's bad. Then you come out of half and I think either fumble or throw a pick. I don't remember which one. Turn the ball over like 2 or 3 times. So that was part of the issue. Um, Also, the you get to the you get to overtime, and then this it's like and despite all of the issues that you had, you still had a chance to win, and then the refs screwed them. I think that the refing in overtime was horrendous. I think that you have been letting the receivers and the corners and the safeties play all game. Lots of hand fighting. There was a situation that could have been PI in the Bills' last possession of the regulation. Josh threw a pass down to the end zone, and the receiver was getting held, and they didn't call it. I said, cool, they letting him play. Don't turn around in overtime and then make the rules different and call 2 PIs that were questionable. I will say, Joey Bosa, you're the big splash that they made signing him to the team and you went out there, the PI wouldn't even have mattered. Why would you hit the quarterback that late? That was
Mhm.
terrible. And you're a veteran. You're not supposed to do that. That was bad.
Yeah, that was a horrible
Um,
play.
but
It
the
was
refing still
desperation for sure.
those PIs were terrible calls, especially the way they've been roughing it the rest of the game. You can't switch it up like that. Um, and then the last thing, I agree with everybody in the world that is saying that that was not a interception. That I think it was Brandon Cooks caught the ball and they should have been down by contact. That wasn't an interception back to the Bills. That being said, I also understand where based on all the camera angles and stuff, it would have been an to overturn something. It's got to be clear and obvious. I see that being difficult from what they were working with to overturn the call made on the field, but I don't think it was the right call.
Yeah, that one's tough. I don't. I can't really say whether it was the right call or not because calls are inconsistent nowadays. To me, like I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there was a play very similar.
In the Bill or the Bears game.
Yes, yeah, and
Yep.
they call that a catch. There was a play very similar last year, Chiefs, Chiefs and somebody, and they called it. I can't remember who they were facing, but
The
it came. It
difference.
was just a very, and I know that the wrestling on the ground is like the big difference and stuff. But to me, that wasn't a whole lot of wrestling. It was like a very quick transition from ground to like corner. Like you just said, though, it's impossible to overturn. They called that interception on the field.
Got
You
to stand by
essentially
it.
can't overturn it. Yeah,
I think that the
as
biggest
a
issue
rule.
was with the Bears one was that he caught it, had clear possession, and his knee was down. So right there, you're like, bang, bang, you're done.
Yeah,
Whereas the Bills one, it
the
was like you caught it, and you're trying to prove that you maintained the catch, and then your back is on the ground. You never touch the ball, never touches the ground, and it's taken from you before you even fully hit the ground. So it's like, can you prove that you had maintained possession of it before it was taken from you? I think it's
right.
a little bit harder for there.
It was like in the middle of his football move that it was ripped. Right,
But I thought that tiebreakers were supposed to go to the receiver.
they are absolutely. I think the argument I mean, the argument in the moment is moot point. The bang bang real time play is why it got called what it was. They didn't
Hmm.
spend enough time looking at it. I agree with that.
Hmm.
But I still think, like, even if they had, I don't think that it's getting overturned, and
Can't
that's going to
overturn
come
it.
down to them being like, well, this is what it looked like in real time. Now we're breaking it down second by second, and this and this. So they like that's a new thing that they're starting to take into account all of a sudden too. Is like what it looks like when you play it full, like they play at full speed and then they play it slow and then they play at full speed and they like that's why they're sitting there for 2.5 minutes and we're all pissed at why we have like four DraftKings commercials before half times. Like yeah, there's a reason, there's a method to the madness. I agree with that, but the inconsistent calls amongst the board, like around the league, just feels, and at the same time, is it an inconsistent call, or is it just nuance? Like, because it's a bang bang play, man. Like, you don't know what's gonna, like, it's so hard to call it at a naked eye. It's so hard
Absolutely.
to be 100% right all the time, even when you have the replay right in front of you. It really is. Um, but yeah, I agree. It wouldn't have gotten overturned. I don't know that it was a catch. But yeah, either way, to me, the shittiest part about all of it is that Bo Nix isn't playing in the AFC Championship. Like,
That
for them to go and do that and now basically hand it to the Patriots, that does suck.
absolutely agree with you. That was someone had tweeted, and I forgot who it was, but basically this is the biggest surprise that they had ever seen in sports after the Luka trade. To go from the high from the Broncos, and I felt so bad for them and everyone involved. To go from we just won a playoff game, we play in the AFC Championship, we have a Super Bowl potential, to our quarterback is hurt and Jarrett Stidham is our quarterback. That's horrific. I feel bad for them, and I feel bad for Bo Nix. I feel bad that you go through all of this and play so all this season and then don't get a chance to really put the cherry on top. That's just, I feel bad for him. But it made me think of, there's only one comparison I could think of for this entire situation. And it made me think about when Carson Wentz had that MVP like season, potential to win the MVP, tore his Achilles, I think it was, missed the rest of the playoffs. And then actually, do you have that tweet that I sent you?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So
Yeah,
then
that's so funny. Go ahead.
Nick Foles takes over and runs them to the Super Bowl. And then Nick Foles dropped a very nice tweet. I think it was today. I got a good laugh out of me. You have it?
Yeah, that's so
Yep.
funny because this is gonna run right into what I was about to say about this too. Um, Tweet from at Nick Foles. Note for the Broncos and their fans. I know it has been an emotional 24 hours. I feel for Bo and the team, and I'm sending prayers for a strong recovery. A positive note going into the game versus the Patriots is that they struggle against backup QBs in championship type games. Mike
Um,
drop, dude.
I
That's
don't.
awesome.
I don't think that Jarrett Stidham is Nick Foles, but I don't know that we thought that Nick Foles was Nick Foles until it happened. So
True.
Jarrett Stidham, you got a chance to be a legend. But honestly, I think that they need to call somebody. Is Flacco available? Is Phil Rivers available? Get somebody out there. Tom, you want to come back out? Peyton Manning, somebody. We
Yeah.
need some help.
In a
Colin
week's
Kaepernick,
time,
Colin Kaepernick, somebody.
I ain't
Jameis
gonna
Winston.
lie, bro. In a week's time, they're better off with Stidham right now. They really are. I mean, like, just because he knows every play, he knows the book. Nobody's. I mean, they could simplify it and maybe flip it around for maybe, yeah, maybe somebody like Flacco, I guess. But at this point in the season, like, you gotta just hope and freaking pray. Cross your
No,
fingers, cross your toes.
you're
Like,
probably right. But I mean, the way that Sean Payton has coached Bo the whole year, and I've talked about it, it's been such a boring team to watch because he doesn't ever let Bo off the chain unless they really need to go out there and ball and put up some points. It's either the final few minutes of the game or they're losing by a lot. And so their whole formula is just run, 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 throw, and we absolutely have to. You can do that with a backup quarterback. The way that he's used
absolutely,
Bo, you'd have thought he was a backup quarterback. Sean
absolutely.
Payton might be
He's
able
got
to
the
protect.
training wheels.
He might be able to protect him.
We'll see. Yeah. Honestly, it's funny that the tweet you made me, or you had me read, was Nick Foles. I wrote on here that there are going to be two phone calls made this week. One, a phone call from Bo Nix to Carson Wentz. How do I cope with losing my team to a backup quarterback in the midst of a Super Bowl run? The second is going to be Jarrett Stidham to Nick Foles. How the hell did you make that Super Bowl run happen, bruh? Help me, dude. I I I have all the belief in this coaching staff. I have all the belief in this defense. There's no way they're getting it done against this Patriots defense. And like you just said, yeah, they might not be quite as battle tested as some of the other teams around the league. They are ready for the offensive scheme that's coming their way. And I'm sure the coaches are going to make sure of that. I'm so damn sure of it that if Jarrett Stidham wins this game, I will, on this podcast, do a one chip challenge for the late entry family. I will eat it
Really?
eat it out here. I'll try to do my all due disrespect after eating. I will say this: I'm only gonna eat like half the chip because Spencer said it ruined his night only eating half the chip one time. So I'm only gonna do what my co-host will do here. I'm doing half the chip if Jarrett Stidham wins that game. I'm committing to
I'm
you
rooting for
now.
the Broncos now. I need to see you do this. I need to see that.
I'm praying. You were already rooting for the Broncos, don't lie. But now
No, I
I just
wasn't.
added some motivation.
Was rooting for the Patriots so we'd have a better Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
But
that's
now I
fair.
need to see you eat the one chip. That'll be more
Yeah.
entertaining than whichever of these AFC teams make it to the Super Bowl. Because the Seahawks most likely are watching them.
They're just gonna dog walk. Yeah. No, I
Um,
got you, bro. I'll make it interesting.
Last thing I want to say about these playoffs so far, and then I'll give you a final word if you want to say anything. Everyone talked about how much the playoffs are going to miss having Mahomes, and a lot of the regular staples we have at the playoffs are not there. Up until this point, the playoffs have been magnificent. We've had so many good games. It's been amazing. The games have been great. There's been so many comebacks and turnarounds and close games. Fantastic. The Bo Nix injury is definitely going to ruin this on the AFC side, I think. It's not going to be as good of a game. Even if
Yeah,
it's a close game, it's going to be a nasty game for the AFC Championship. NFC Championship is still going to be sensational. It's going to be cinema.
I
Um,
agree.
but that's all I have on the playoffs. Anything else for you before we get out of here?
Man, I mean, shout out to the Seahawks.
Shout out.
Absolutely, absolutely shocking the world. I wanted to put them as one of the bottoms of their division, and the more I started looking at that team, I couldn't. I think I put them second, which obviously they ended up taking first. But man, I mean, shout out to just shutting up the haters and doing your thing, getting it done. Um,
I mean, I think you and I are really the only two people that have had faith in them from the late entry family. We've did the used to the power rankings. We used to talk about them all the time, and we even had a time where we're like, all right, who do you think is going to be the team that collapses? I think you and I were with the Seahawks, and I think Matt and a lot of our chat was like, nope, they
mhm.
got Sam Darnold, it's gonna collapse. They
Yep.
got one more week. Well, I guess 2 more weeks to show it, but it's been a good run so far.
No, I agree. I agree. Shout out, yeah, and just shout out the NFL giving us a good product, giving us something to talk about.
Absolutely. All right, that's it for a late entry. The Sunday recap. Catch us back 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central for the live episode on Wednesday. We will see you then. Late entry, we out.
Like and
Peace.
subscribe.